Yes.
Good morning, and to the viewers also.
Remind us what gave rise to this book.
Well, I must say this book has long been in coming. It is a result of the discussion I had with my friend and comrade Richard Bartlett way back, even before Madiba was released. That Madiba himself has been captured, well, in so many ways, in poetry, on canvas, that there's not been a book of poetry that celebrates him. So then we set out to put this book together. We marshaled the efforts of people like our Nobel laureate, Nadine Gordimer, who was also Madiba's literary agent, literary advisor, to also talk to him to see if it's something that he'll really like. And as you can see at the back of the book, he has written us a little note where he's very happy with this. So then Richard especially led the process, going through the internet and also calls to people like Wole Soyinka, Seamus Heaney, quite a lot of poets, both here on the continent and across the world, indeed. It
So
captures about 50 years of writing from different angles. Yeah.
Well, he's one man who is sure to get the creative juices flowing in anyone. I mean, he's inspired so many artists. But tell us how you sourced these poems, and did you commission them, or did you call on people to write these poems, or did you happen to stumble upon a few works of art that contained the name Madiba? Yeah,
no, we didn't commission anyone to write. We wanted to get the work that was already there. So, through your today's media, the internet, Google, some you call, some you knew people quite intimately close by. So we employed a range of approaches to get these.
You've already mentioned that this book has a stamp of approval from Dr. Nelson Mandela at the back there, a little note from him. But I know that you were on Robben Island yourself, and that he may have shared something with you. Do you have anything to tell us about what he said? Are you at liberty to divulge that conversation?
Yes, indeed. It's something that we've been wanting to do for quite a long time. When I was about 19 years old, 1979, when I arrived on Robben Island, we had something called ISPAN, like it's a work team with people like Comrade Tera Lekota and Kgalema Motlanthe, our president now. We went out to drag seaweed from the sea, which was then exported to places like Taiwan for perfumes. When we came back, Comrade Mandela and the other Rivonia trialists had just come back from meeting their lawyer. So Tera and Comrade Kgalema said, we must make sure we introduce you to these comrades, because we're living in different parts of Robben Island. And the first thing, of course, Mandela said to us, he called us chaps, which I didn't like quite very much, because we were revolutionaries, young activists, wanted to be called comrades. And he said, well, chaps, I know you just arrived from outside, and I want you to debunk this myth from outside that we are larger than life. We are just the same as you. We are human beings, we make mistakes, and if we make mistakes, you must correct us as leaders of this great movement, the African National Congress. And if we don't listen, it is your duty to take over and lead it in the proper direction. I'm talking 1979. These are some of the things that, I can't forget. There were many other instances, of course, where we interacted with Comrade Mandela and other comrades, even through political education classes, where we exchanged notes. Some were very nice, but some were very tough, because this was, the crucible of making this democracy we find today. It was, as people say, a university of life from Robben Island. So there are quite a number of things we learned from him. And he learned from us, because he's that kind of a man who'd go down to the ordinary person. And if he was wrong, to say, comrade, I was wrong here, let's talk this and show each other the best way forward. I was very delighted after we published the book, myself and my wife Cindy with Nadine Godima. We went to present the book to him. And, you should have seen his smile in a beaming face. It was like a little child getting a toy. And he was very grateful for that. And I'm very glad that at least these efforts, we managed to show him what we could do.
In his lifetime,
while he was still alive
to appreciate that. Indeed, a job well done. And thank you so much for sharing your memories.
Yeah, but before perhaps I go, we've got this Friday, and thanks to the Nelson Mandela Center for Memory, this Friday the 13th from 2 o'clock up to 5 o'clock, we've got something called Writers and Artists Tributes to Madiba. And we've got an array of stars there in the presence of our National Poet Laureate, Professor Morakabe Seakhoa, our Nobel Laureate, Nadine Godima. We've got Makumele Manaka, Cindy Swasiakwa, Usisi Jessica Mbangeni, Brawali Serote. We've got quite a number of people who will come to pay tribute as writers and other artists. And the platform is open for anyone who I may not have mentioned and who hears for the first time that will be doing this, that it will be at the Mandela Center for Memory in Houghton this Friday. So the Nelson Mandela Center of Memory this coming Friday the 13th, 2 p.m. Yes. And it's open for all the members of South Africa to come and give thanks and remember Dada Madiba. It is the writers and artists tributes to Nelson Mandela. Indeed. All right, we'll continue to give out those details. It is this Friday the 13th of December, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Houghton at the Nelson Mandela Center for Memory. My thanks to you again for joining us. I loved how you spoke about Robben Island and how you were this new crop of the militants, the radicals, and you viewed Madiba as the moderates. Yes, but we'll have to leave it there for now. But thank you so much. But he was a militant moderate. Indeed. But these young generations saw themselves as being very feisty. And I'm sure all those stories and more will be shared on Friday, the 13th, there at 2 p.m. in Houghton, Nelson Mandela Center for Memory, I should say.